Now the arms are both finished and bent, so she's got more of a graceful look to her. Okay, so what I like to do is kind of needle the top a little bit to make sure that everything is kind of in place. You don't have to do this, and some people like to leave things a little bit more free-flowing. It's totally up to you. I just like the look of it to be a little bit more finished and a little less floaty. So I just kind of needle around the different aspects, especially in the shoulder, chest area, to really make sure that it's, ouch, all tacked on. Yeah, see, careful, be careful. You can use, if you would like to have it padding underneath while needling, you can use even a common brand new kitchen sponge. That's really a more economical way because, I mean, honestly, the pads you buy at the store aren't really any different than a kitchen sponge. So you don't really need anything fancy to do that. It's really just so that you don't stab yourself or your furniture if you're doing it on a table. Now, I kind of like to tuck my sleeves in a little bit more. So by using the needle, you can kind of bring that in a little bit and make it look more like a puff sleeve. And then underneath the arm, I kind of do that, and that kind of gives her a little bit more of a womanly form where she looks like a person instead of like she has these long, crazy robes on. So I kind of needle mine a lot to get them more of a form. So I will kind of do this a little quickly so you can kind of see what it looks like on one side and kind of get that visual comparison of the two. I know people get very intimidated by doing these, but honestly they're quite easy, and it's really just about what you really want it to look like. There's no wrong way to do this. And this is kind of fun because you can feel free to experiment and just see what you like, what works for you, what you think is beautiful. Now, my lady here is getting kind of a larger bosom than I am trying to give her, so I'm just going to kind of work that out a little bit there. Alright, anyway, so you can kind of see the difference between the felted side and the unfelted side. Oops, there we go. I always forget everything you do on the camera is opposite. So it's really about what you like. Alright, so for hair, you can make the choice of, whatever color that you like. Now I am going to use a combination of the light purple, the dark purple, and some white, just to kind of make things interesting. So I'm just going to kind of shred it a little bit. The simplest way would be to take a section of roving and bring it down to the length that you want. So you're going to want, a fair amount. And then you're going to want to put it on, like here's the back, so I stretch mine down on the back, so you're going to want to cover all of that, and then I needle from here up, almost like a part like I have, and then when I get to the top, I leave the top part loose, and so then I kind of needle the sides down, so then she's got like this lovely hair. But I'm not going to do it that way right this second because I'm going to mix colors to give her a more colorful hairdo. So I'm going to just take some roving and rub it in my hands to make it kind of fit together a little bit more. Kind of like you would a clay snake or something. Just kind of rub it together like that. And then I'm going to take a larger piece and then kind of rub it together there to meld the two. And then I'm going to take another color and put that on top. And I'm going to kind of just twist it there. And then you can see you've got quite an interesting blend of colors. Of course, I just let it go. All right, anyway, so you can see you've got an interesting blend of colors that I'm going to use for her hair. So you can take your felting pad, if you have one, kitchen sponge, whatever, and you can stab this onto the pad and then actually get a pretty tight braid by doing it that way. I'm just going to kind of loosely braid it just to give you an idea so you can see how the colors would look on her. Now because we're using a white, I'm obviously not going to have her have white hair because then there would be no contrast between her face and her hair. It would look like one big blob. So I'm going to use probably the darker color for her hair like I demonstrated. But I'm going to use a sheer amount, not a thick amount, to start off. So we'll put it on her head, and I'm going to start at the back with the needle, like so, and then you're going to poke the back there all the way up the head to attach it. Okay, so it's attached very loosely. Then I like to bring the hair down the sides like this. So you're going to want to bring this top part back a little bit because it's kind of looking like a hood. Now I don't want to needle that down because I want it kind of loose. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to stick the needle through it just to kind of bring it back a little bit and less like a hood. Because we don't want her looking like Little Red Riding Hood right now. So you just work the needle through like that. And then we've got her hair on right now. It's not finished. It's like stage one basically. So I'm just going to go through and just kind of continue to tuck her hair on in there. And then I like to kind of twirl the hair a little bit just to kind of get it closer together. It's not going to stay like that, but you know, it helps kind of get it to look more like hair and less like a mess. We don't want her looking ratty. We want her to look beautiful. So that kind of helps get the hair to lay better. Alright, so I'm going to take the braid that I made and I'm going to kind of make that look a little bit nicer. It's a little bit sloppy. And I'm going to give her kind of a braided headbandy situation. Okay. And then I'm just going to like pull it taut so that it looks a bit better. But see, if we put it on her head and then we bring it around to the back like this, and then you would tie it. But first, before I tie it, I'm going to needle it in place. So you want to stick the needle straight down and just move up and down a little bit to get it stuck in place. Okay. really want to get that on there. So it's not coming loose. Because otherwise, when you go to tie it, if you haven't attached it, you'll go to tie it and it'll pop right off. And then you run the risk of your braid coming undone and having to start all over again, which is really frustrating. Now, obviously, this would be a more complicated addition to your fairy. So with young children, this would be something you would do yourself and maybe add on later. Older children, ouch, sorry, would be able to do this carefully, of course. I'm not doing so good on the careful front. So I'm just going to tie it on the back, kind of like she's got a bun. Now, you have the option where you can leave the hair down, obviously not with that sticking up, or you can then create something special with the hair. I'm going to do something special. I'm going to do more of like a bun kind of situation. So before I pull the hair all the way back, I'm going to want to felt it down. So felt, 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 poke, poke, poke. Get it in there good. Make sure, since you just tied that back, to poke it all the way through. And get her hair on good. Okay. Okay, so I've got her hair felted on the sides there, and then I'm going to take it and actually create something special by tying the loose bits and making it look kind of like a bun. So I'm going to just tie it. It's kind of hard to show you without moving the whole camera setup. So if you've got a bit that's kind of bulky, you know, it's fine because you know you can just tack that down. And because she's got extra hair, I'm just going to pull it forward to give her more in the front anyway. So I'm going to twist it. And then that will give her some more visual interest in the front. And then just needle it down, of course. Don't needle too much because then you won't have that nice fullness. All right, and then the other side, I've got a little bit of bulk going on here. You can see it's like kind of bulky. So what we're gonna do is felt that down some more to make that a bit flatter. So just, oops, kind of, you know, felt it down, make that a bit flatter. And I'll work on that some more after I put her hair up in the front. So yeah, we just bring that up in the front. Felt it into place. So then she'll look like she's got quite a bit of hair. So we just bring it all the way over and just kind of tuck it in there. But like I said, not too much, so you still have that looseness. Okay. So now I just have to work on her blobby spot here. So I'll just keep felting that until it gets the way I want it to look. And then her hair looks really beautiful in the back here. And she's got multiple colors, so you got a nice visual effect. And you can do that with your fire fairy as well. You can take maybe some of the burgundy and some of the orange and some of that mixed kind of fire wool and do the same kind of thing. So her head has gotten a little misshapen, but all right, so you can see in the back that I went ahead and felted it so it's not a big blobby mess. And then I'll just kind of squish the head a little bit to have her look more like the fairy I want her to be. And then, there we go. That's better. See, it's the nice thing about felt is it's malleable, so you can see she looks quite lovely. Beautiful hair, and it's very fancy. She's got to put up. All right. Now, if you decide that you feel like the skirt should be fuller or something like that, then you can take more of your wool and stretch it out like so. And then you can just add it onto the skirt and just kind of loosely felt it into place. Now, I like mine to have a pretty full skirt, so I'm going to put some more on there, but make sure to start underneath where you have it tied. So I'm going to start with one piece and then take the wool and go ahead and stab it on there like that. You can see I'm stabbing it right underneath the belt area. So I'm going to stab that a few more times, get that on there really good so it's not going to pull right off if somebody grabs it. That would be really frustrating if that happened. And then I'm going to finger comb it down again, and that'll pull out some of the extra bulk on the bottom here. And then if you need to, you can just yank it off like I just did. So then I'm just going to add that piece I just pulled off onto the side here. And again, just needle it right on there a little bit. Not too much, because otherwise you're going to get little hole marks, which is not so pretty. You can also use your needle to kind of finger comb too. You don't have to just do your fingers. Anyway, so that's giving her more of a fuller skirt. And then we'll put some on the other side so she's even. We'll add some more over here. That side. Right below the belt line. And with the Fire Fairy, when I made mine, I used multiple colors for the skirt because I felt like it looked more like a flame. So it's totally up to you though. You could have it be, completely red, or you could have a red top and an orange skirt. It's however you want yours to look. There's no right or wrong way to do it. So that gives us a bit, fuller of a skirt and a little bit more color. All right. So the last thing, now I like to add a little visual detail on the neck area. So that's something that can be done, or you could just move on to the wings. So I'm just going to take a little piece here and make kind of like a necklace looking situation. So I just roll it in my fingers to get it the way I want it to look. And then I put it how I want it on her to give her a little bit more. So I'm going to kind of make it a V-neck since that's what's going on there already. Get it in place, and then take your needle, and you're going to want to go right into the body. Be very careful because this is shallow, so you'll easily stab yourself. And then I just like to needle it into place. all the way front to back. And that just gives you a little bit more of a finished look. So on the back part, there's barely any, so you can kind of make it go, I don't know how well you can see, make it go like a necklace in the back. Just make sure you really tack it on the front so that it looks good. And then I like to go from the side into the other layer just to make sure that it's really on there, and that gives it a nice look. Okay, so onto the wings. You're going to take more of your white and stretch it out. Now your wings can be big, they can be small, it's totally up to you. I like to do mine 2-ply, so I have one small bit, and then I like to have a, kind of a larger, longer bit. That way I have some nice thick looking wings. So when I felt them on, it'll be like this. So you've got 2 sets. So I'll do the bigger set first, and you're going to want to place it right on the back, right from underneath her neck to her waist area. You're going to squish it together like that, and then felt it down. So then you're going to felt it right into place. So you're going to keep pinching it to where it looks the way that you want it to look. And this is why I do more than one layer, because then it gives you a little bit more wing, or like fuller. Okay. Alright, and then I'm going to take my second part and stick it right in the same spot and felt again. So you want to pinch and felt. So you can see the needle goes right in the center there, and then you carefully poke, poke, poke. Alright, now you can stretch the wings out nice and loose. So she's got this lovely set of wings, and then you could even like have them look like top wings and bottom wings, kind of like a butterfly, totally up to you. But from the front, you want to see the wings a little bit, especially if you're going to like hang her. You want to definitely see wings. And then I just take my hand and kind of go down her skirt to kind of give her a little bit more of a finish, and then you can, any loose pieces or pieces that are longer, like this one's pulling, so I'm going to grab on and just kind of pull that. That way you've got this nice kind of shape to her, and she looks very fairy-like. Okay, so that concludes how to make your own fairy, and I hope this video was helpful. Please feel free to give me any feedback. Let me know how you're liking your envelope. Share your pictures of your fire fairies. I would love to see how they turned out, and if you did any special embellishments, would be awesome to see. So Instagram, Happy Hedgehog Post, on our Facebook, Happy Hedgehog and Friends. Reach out and share with us. Thank you so much.